Let's kick it old school!
Yeah, boy!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
All right, it is Old School Essentials, the further adventures of the Thunderous Fury, session 35. Time for the recap.
All righty, you guys want me to hit it as usual, or you guys want to give it a shot?
You've got it, Mr. Bard.
I think that's a vote for the Urseth's Bard. Okay. In our last episode, of course, the damsel was stressed because her husband was taken away as drunk and stupid from the sailor's seduction. Now, she did indeed hint that the fact that he was taken away from the sailor's seduction was going to be a point of contention in their marriage when she got him back, but she did want him back. So it turns out that at least for a night or so, we were working for the lovely Camille St. Pierre to rescue her husband from probable Shanghaiing and semi-slavery. And of course, she was sent our way by the lovely Anton, who she's a neighbor of. In any case, so of course we know sort of where to go. I mean, if she's being shanghaied, he's down by the docks, and we head that way. Our usual tricky thief, I believe you were the one who came up with this plan, Clintock, decided that perhaps we could act as Shanghaiers ourselves and work our way onto the ship using that ruse, at least get closer before the festivities started, as it were. And indeed, it did work. They seemed somewhat confused, but they accepted that we were bringing them more workers. Unfortunately, that ruse did not work for long enough, for indeed the brouhaha started, and we found out that the main person on the ship was this 12-foot-tall dude wearing overalls with a club made of rock. In other words, bad news in extremely large amounts. Combat starts and our brave Karn goes to the front as always, as the rest of us engage the crews in our own way. Clintock, for example, decides that attacking from the rigging was very much the smart idea. Given what happened, it was indeed very much the smart idea. There was much back and forth, but unfortunately, Super, the not an ogre, we were told several times he was not an ogre, despite the fact that he's 12 feet freaking tall and swinging around a stone club like it's a fly swatter. We did quite a bit of damage, but then unfortunately, he got a good hit on Karn and took Karn down, coughing his last out. But of course, Orion would not want to see his favorite meat shield poured a healing potion down Karn's throat in order to stabilize him. In the meantime, a couple of other lucky rolls finally managed to take down several of the other crew members and the big guy himself. While the fight was going on, Basil and Zofan were attempting to rescue the people and came across another couple of pirates, unfortunately, as well as pirates, I say. Slavers, there we go, better term, as well as finding the people we were looking for. Fortunately, given that the big guy and all of the deck crew was down, the two down there decided that getting the heck out of Dodge was the better part of valor. Now, initially, interestingly enough, we had to try to divert the dock guards, but we found out that indeed they didn't care much for this ship at all because they caught one of the fleeing slavers and were completely uninterested when Clintock put a bolt through his throat and completely ended his life. Oh, well, shows you exactly what the guards thought of that ship in the first place. So we hustle Karn back to the rejuvenating bog and get him laid down and healing up with the help of his over proselytizing friend that we sprung from jail. And of course, to cap out the night of running around, playing hero and killing slavers, we have to meet with the planning committee the next day. Indeed, we have found out through both the merchants around the town and the planning committee itself that the mayor has financed his many days of fun by raising taxes across the town on all of the businesses and collecting them. Oh well, we knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, and of course, Cognizant, he mentions the disturbance on the dock, and Clintock being the smart man that he is, suggests that of course we would be happy to investigate if they wanted us to. In the meantime, let's see, 7 minutes for guard change, since apparently that's something that's being tracked all the time these days. And that's what my notes say, guys. Got any significant additions?
The 7 minutes was
there
that
was
morning, right? Was that morning the 7 minutes?
Yeah, that morning was the 7 minutes.
Okay.
There was one important thing is that we found a letter in the captain's quarters. Did you cover that?
No, I didn't. You're right. I forgot it. I actually wrote it down, but it was a little short note.
It said go to Klinkville to get some recruits through an arrangement, then head to the power station. And it was signed by Baruch with a postscript like, if you see a crew with my stolen ship, let me know, which is us, which is presumably allegedly our crew.
Yeah.
But we know that Baruch is a famous pirate, and he hired the Thunderous Fury in the past incarnation to get the dark crystals, and he's a dark asher.
I forgot the closure. A couple of our guys, and you guys will have to refresh my memory, sailed the ship out of the docks and then abandoned it, pretty much assuring that it would either wreck or get taken as salvage.
The Master Hayden, who you 12-foot tall guy who you killed, was killed with abnormally large red delicious apples, a crate of them.
Ah, yes.
Fantastic.
Now he's like those old school pictures of, pigs cooked with the apples in their mouths, right?
Exactly.
I just get, this, huge chunky guy sort of served up on a plate with an apple in his mouth,
I bet the meat's a little salty, but
yes, Karn is badly injured. It is the morning of the 12th. It is unseasonably cold this morning. Karn, your room has been paid for through the for almost to the end of this month. This month has 42 days in it. Your room is paid for 30 days if you wish. It was done by the cleric Josiah, the priest who showed up, remember, to help you. Brucon came, got him, if you remember, during the fight, when the fight ended, and he took you to back to the rejuvenating bog. And there was some comment about how you guys needed to pay up because your stay was you'd paid all your days, and he dropped some sort of minted silver coin on the desk and said, I'll take care of that. So Karn, you got 30 days. The rest of you guys are paid up through the 16th. It will cover some of your accommodations as well. So it is this morning unseasonably cold.
feels like today.
Karn, you're in your room, obviously resting. And you realize that like wearing armor and doing stuff is going to be kind of a challenge for you, and carrying things. So mechanically, you basically have half movement and half carrying capacity.
Okay.
And in combat, or if you are forced to do combat, you can only do one. You can kind of do one thing. So you can attack, but if you are attacked, there is a -2 to your defense, basically because you can't really use your shield. You have it, but it's really hard to like hold it up. Or if you just want to defend, then you have your full armor class.
Now, if he goes into full defense, he just goes to his regular armor class.
Yeah, then they're fine.
Yeah,
or
instead
with
having
that
bonus.
turn, you could move.
Okay.
Because I do allow movement and attack in OSC, which technically you're not supposed to, but you can. I believe it's like half movement and attack or whatever. So yeah, you're kind of limited in that stuff. So the carrying capacity and the half movement will probably come into effect. I would figure if you're trying to carry gear and stuff, but you do have your hunting dog, and you at least let's see, I had to make a map of all the things so I can keep track. So you've got so Marsh Destiny, his name is, the St. Cuthbert former prisoner, is also staying in your room, tending to whatever you need. And in the morning, the door kind of, you're kind of in and out a little bit. He's bringing in the fresh cranberry juice with some red delicious apples, and some oatmeal for the morning. And Josiah walks in and says, "Karn, how are you doing?"
I've had better days, but Cuthbert is with me, and I shall be good as new very soon.
That is excellent to hear. And nice work. I am happy to see that our young acolyte here has been released from his incarceration. You did excellent work.
For now, they want him to return when we're done with him, but we'll see how that works out.
We will see how that works. Yes. What is your thoughts going forward?
Between you and I and Cuthbert,
Of course, it's always that way.
I think he should come with us. He is being treated as a martyr for the cause, but there's no reason to martyr him too soon.
What if I was to say to you that I could bring other brothers in arms and we could maybe remove some of the oppression here in Klinkville? That coin goes a long way. That donation that you gave surely goes a long way.
Are you talking about removing the city from the grasp of the ape empire?
I don't know if we could achieve that sort of objective, but it would be a step in the right direction.
I would pledge my sword to the cause.
Oh God.
Excellent.
Where do I sign up?
Just let me know. I know you're part of this planning committee with this mayor. So just let me know the appropriate time. I will send word, and I need to be done. And he opens the door and departs.
Yes, we have backup. Yes, or at least a distraction, or at least yeah.
Am I right in assuming he wants to go in there and free the prisoners from the tower and maybe do away with the mayor?
Probably at a minimum.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what all he wants to do, but it sounds to me like he's wanting to do something that's going to help us and advance the cause of Cuthbert. Yeah,
speaking of which, Orion wants to have a bit of a put our heads together meeting this morning so that we know we're, still on track. So unless anybody objects, he's gonna wait till a reasonable hour of the morning, Karn. and sort of
5 a.m.
and sort of go knocking on doors. And since Karn's room is bigger and away from not as more private, sort of get everybody into Karn's room to talk.
Yeah, it's also got a private bath in there, and it's a very nice room.
Okay. All right, so Ryan will sort of lead off and say, okay, so we've been sort of winging it, guys, but looks like we got a plan coming together. First of all, unless you guys want to walk out of this place or, commandeer another ship, seems like the best way out of here is to hitch a ride with Remy on her earlier time schedule. Does that make sense?
That does.
Okay. So we need to get her to confirm that we'll be going with her, and let's be honest, see if we can get some concessions out of her as far as being paid for this job. Of course, not mentioning the fact that we'll be probably ruining her father's reputation as we leave because, we're known associates of his, and we'll be leaving behind a little teeny bit of a mess. We need to talk with Remy and confirm and get all of that confirmed. And we need to figure out when Ox is being transferred, if he truly is. Did anybody remember dates on that, or is this just sort of up in the air at this point?
I believe Ox is being transferred in 3 days, time to the real prison rather than the holding cell he's currently in.
I thought he had already been moved to the real prison. That's where we scouted it out.
I will let you know that it's supposed to be tomorrow. Since I have my calendar, I can tell you that tomorrow is the day that he is supposed to move. It's like the earliest. They mentioned that tomorrow. And then the day after that is the potential full moon. And so the 13th is, so today's the 12th. On the 13th is the potential Ox move, when he could move. On the 14th is the full moon. On the 15th is when the festival is supposed to begin, and that is when the ship that goes to the Gully of Small from Remy's dad, that's when the ship leaves that day.
Okay, 12th today, 13th Ox transfers, 14th full moon, 15th ship leaves with Remy, yes?
Yep.
Bring us up to point. Are we going to try to break Ox out early under the full moon? He could cause a lot more havoc, but then we would have actually if it's the night of the 14th and the ship leaves on the 15th, he wouldn't have to hide too long there.
Well, if he moved on the 13th, the 14th is the full moon. We know where he is now, and we know about that back route into that place.
Yeah, but we'll have to dig it up to get there, which is another point. This is not going to be an op we can hide very well. Can anybody think of a way to set up a distraction or something that we won't be the main thing that the guards are interested in?
The help from Josiah is one thing, but we would have to do that today or tomorrow.
Wait a minute, help from Josiah? Last I remember, all he offered was to help you with a little healing.
Not Josiah. Who was that just came in the room?
Remember, my character wasn't in there when you plotted insurrection against the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just giving you a chance to RP it.
Oh yes, I just recently spoke with Brother Josiah, and he has offered us some help. He wants to relieve this city of some of the oppression, especially that against Cuthbert. And of course, we'd like to get our friend here march with us out of the city as well. There's no reason for him to return to prison. Being wrongfully held for a strong faith in such a saint as Cuthbert. So perhaps we can use that as a bit of a distraction as well.
Well, indeed. Cuthbert provides. I am. I think I have seen my. I think if this works out, it may be the first miracle of Cuthbert, besides, of course, yourself, that I have seen. I know he works through you. I'm going to be interested to see how well this works out. Works out for the rest. Interesting. So, can we get him in on the timing? Basically, probably night of the 14th, morning of the 15th is when things are going to kick off. And of course, in the meantime, we still have to act as if we're planning this festival in order not to make the other members of the festival planning committee suspect us too much. Honestly, I think if I could, if I could keep that darn person who was playing at the Sailor Seduction off the list, I would be doing everybody an immense favor.
At least he wasn't playing waterphone. One thing piece of the puzzle I'm missing is Ox able, if we can stall Ox's punishment through the night of the full moon, then he should be able to escape on his own.
Well, unless... he said, okay, two things. We already have. That was what the whole, sacrificing, killing him at the height of the festival issue was. So the festival starts, and then so we do have plenty of time. GM to correct me if I'm wrong, of course. And the other thing was Ox said that when he was being held in the guard tower, not when he was being held in the city jail proper. And we've seen the city jail, and it is pretty darn tight there.
Is it so tight that a rat wouldn't be able to get out of it?
But he's had that discussion, actually. He's a were-rat, which is still,
Humans.
several foot tall being. He's not going to be able to squeeze through the bars, probably. And even then, he would be fighting. Even then, he would be fighting the guards.
I see. I think I wasn't at that session.
So I've made friends with the guards at the tower. And if I was to bring them, say, tonight's treat from the festivities and say, here, I brought some with you, friends, and perhaps I can distract them enough that our sneaky types can manage to get in the grate and get inside the tower unseen. If we can manage to spirit Ox away tonight, and in secret and in private before it's discovered that he's even missing, get him on board that boat, say, disguised as cargo. Then we all just march onto the boat on the 15th like nothing's a big deal, and we leave leave him intact, or some variation like that.
I have seen my second miracle of Cuthbert, the paladin trying subtlety. So what you're suggesting is we figure out some way to break Ox out without causing a big alert, get him on the boat, and I don't know that we can get that tonight because we haven't even confirmed with Remy that we'll be coming with her. But get him on the boat as cargo, and then walk away on the 15th like nothing happened.
Correct.
I don't know.
It might be kind of suspicious on the mayor's part if we, who were so instrumental in dragging out the festivities and the events, all of a sudden disappear at the same time as the prisoner.
So might I suggest an addendum to this plan? We send Ox away on the boat on the 15th, 14th, whatever day it might be. But when we sneak into the prison, and presumably our mending paladin friend here will have mildly poisoned or intoxicated the guards enough to put them out for a bit, we, move them away from the prison far enough because we don't commit wanton murder. But this evening, we find a grave that, I don't know, somebody that we don't care that goes missing. We retrieve ourselves one body. We explore this evening this secret passage to make sure it is actually useful still, and make sure that we have an escape route. Tuck the stolen body away in the tunnels, hide it away for the evening, and then once we have gotten Ox out, and presumably the other prisoners, if they would like to leave as well, we set fire to the prison. And then they find a body in Ox's cell and assume that he burned alive with the prison. And we claim it is an omen of the Festival of Light that has cleansed all of the evil from the city.
Now we're talking.
Just an idea.
There was only one guard at the gate to the tower, wasn't there? On duty? Or were there more than one?
They told you that.
Well, when Karn went up there and was making friends with them and playing with his dog and so forth.
Oh, at the prison there was 3. Yeah. Two.
Two outside,
There was
one inside. That's
yeah,
the way
2
I
outside,
remember
1
it.
inside. You're correct. Yeah.
So
It took both keys, like the outside guy. It took the outside guy's key plus the inside guy's key to open up the
Yeah.
cells.
So Basil has 2 of those flowers that help you sleep left. He had kept 3 and he tried to use one on the guy. He's got 2 left, but he also has a scroll of old person. Can anybody use a scroll?
Let's not forget that Torjan has a sleep spell.
Yeah. Anybody can use a scroll, but if you're not a spellcaster, you just got to roll under whatever that whatever the prerequisite is it for. I think is that a wisdom to use that? Is the sleep a wisdom or a int based?
I don't know about that, but we also do know that the Sailor Seduction makes quite the brew, so to speak. And
Right,
they seem to be out of new recruits, strangely enough.
There's also no place to take the recruits, but oh well. But I'm with you on the, get something from the Sailor Seduction and, spike it with something like those flowers. I'm afraid if we drink, we get something that's too, we can't use hard alcohol because they figure that out. They probably wouldn't drink it. But yeah, the flowers or something else would work nicely.
Yeah, bring them some cake and flowers. Bring them a meal from that and lace the drink with it.
Yeah, and we can leave the drinks outside for a bit since the inside, I'm sure, is still pretty damn sweaty. Despite the outside weather.
For the whole person, it'll be you roll under your wisdom. For non-spellcaster.
Okay. Well, again, Torjan has a sleep spell, pretty sure. Let me make. Yeah, because I tried to use it on that professor.
You just picked the wrong person.
Yeah,
That
I picked
makes
what
more
was
sense
probably
than
one.
person, yeah.
I picked what was probably a high-level spellcaster to try a sleep spell of. Yeah, no.
You also know that around the jail and the prominent buildings in the admin district are runes that are anti-magic. So just keep that in mind, like right up next to the building, they might be protected, but like 20 feet away, probably not.
You must go 20 feet out the door before you can cast any magic spells.
So we give the guard that's inside, pass him some stuff laced with the flowers through the grill of the bars, whatever, and then invite the other two guards. Hey, step over here with me. Let's sit on the lawn and have a little bit of a meal while you're watching this, and we'll play catch with the dog.
Well, we just give them all food and make sure there's 3 portions, one for the guy on the inside. It's not like they're going to short. It's not like they're going to short him.
Yeah, but make sure his food's got the laced up stuff with the flowers. Cast the sleep spell on the other 2, because he's only got 2 flowers, not 3.
We should bring a variety of food just in case
Yeah,
one of the guards is on a diet.
Yeah, one of them might be abstaining.
Like,
Yeah.
bring tea.
oh, thanks. I'm on a keto diet. I can't eat any of this. Eat any of the food you brought.
Try some of this wonderful
Okay.
sugar-free tea. No calories, no carbs.
All righty. So how are we doing? How are we doing on Clintock's idea to leave behind a body? I mean, you want to try that just for further obfuscation?
I think that's excellent.
Yeah,
I have no objections. I wonder if we could just pull up some of the bodies that we took care of on the ship, unless those are already gone.
I was gonna say, where'd they put the guys there's at least one guy we ganked on the dock. So I don't know where his body went. All right, we got details. Okay, so sounds like an action plan. Put out a contact for Remy, so agree to escort her. Agree to escort her when she leaves. Yes?
If we'd want to throw off suspicion even more, we could stay behind for that second trip out, the delayed one, and send Ox on the first one.
yeah.
Are you talking about the second ship that leaves, the second shipping ship on Rem? Okay, that leaves the 20th. That's when the festival ends.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be an option.
Okay.
There was suspicion of us.
I'm just thinking that I'm just thinking that there's too many ways for this to start going bad. You know, the guards at the prison are going to sort of remember falling asleep. You know, they may or may not report it, but they'll definitely remember falling asleep and then having all of their prisoners go bye-bye.
True.
Unless they were also caught in the fire.
Yeah, which Karn doesn't want to do because he's got a friend.
Unless Karn is there when they wake up pretending to be asleep. What happened?
Well, then all the prisoners go bye-bye. Yeah, and then I don't know. I just don't want to stick around in town where we're committing several major crimes and pull a bluff on the guards when you're talking about, when they can probably pull in people with divination or actual physical skills that.
That's true.
That
Isn't there a third way out of town, some path?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to take the shipping ship out of town. You could try to get on a ship that heads out of town, or you could just leave town and go due east. but it's essentially an island, so you'd have to get a ship at some point to go south or wherever, because you're ultimately headed south. It's a major shipping port, so getting on a ship to head out of town is not unreasonable. Just Remy just knows exactly when to go, and she doesn't have to pay for the trip and all that good stuff.
Well, I mean, would it be completely crazy just meet her further down the river?
Meet up with her.
So she's not sure which one she takes. She probably would take the second trek because it would take her to Twin Rivers. And she said she would go into Moglet, which is the old hobgoblin capital, and find people who could traverse the river to get further south. Like going the other way was just kind of a secondary plan.
Yeah.
But she wants to find somebody who can get through the mountains to the south that knows their way. Now you could meet her up at Twin Rivers and just tell her, look, we'll be there. You just hold up.
That seems like a good way to like hightail it out of town, but not directly leave on the same way of getting out of town as her / also Ox. It might throw off suspicion a little bit from Remy and her father.
Sounds like we get out of town earlier, and then she gets out of town later and meets up with us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, either way.
But
Okay.
it wouldn't take much of a boat, it doesn't look like, to cross over to the mainland, would it?
What are you talking about?
If we left before, I mean, we're on an island, but it looks on this map, it looks like we're not that far from the mainland.
Correct. Yeah.
So it wouldn't take much of a boat really to be able to cross over to the mainland.
Correct. Yeah. To get to just traverse onto the main the mainland and go down Hexer's Crossing through the forest, to make your way on land. Yeah. But also remember, you have Karn. Karn on a boat doesn't make the boat go any slower. You could, try to get a cart with an ox or something like that and have Karn ride on it, because he's going to be at half speed.
Oh, strange mechanics, speed on the boat slower. Okay, whatever.
Oh, I was just thinking we could get Ox out of town with maybe a couple of people. But you're right, staying behind kind of sucks. And we would have to arrange for stuff to be on the other side waiting for us.
So as you're pondering
Alrighty.
that, Brucon knocks there's a knock at the door, and it's Brucon. Am I interrupting? I'm sorry. As he looks into the room and realizes you are all crowded in there.
That's okay, Brucon. What's going on?
I have there's been a couple of requests that have come through the front desk. I wish to relay them to you, but I don't want to interrupt this meeting.
It is all right. Come on in.
Okay. Closes the door.
There's like
Yeah, we may be able to integrate these requests into our planning meeting.
All right.
we're having a pre-meeting meeting. Brucon, so welcome to the pre-meeting meeting.
Okay, so he hands a sealed envelope to Clintock.
Shake it around a little bit. Are there any like heavy objects inside of it?
No.
Okay, open it.
And if you look in Discord, look in the chat, you will see who it's from.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. The lady has requested my attention, so I must visit her post haste.
Who, Remy?
No, Camille.
Huh.
Oh, Ethics would be so jealous that you get your own hot mama.
This one's already married. She's taken.
It doesn't seem to have stopped
Brucon,
sex before.
Brucon, you said two things. That was one.
Oh, yes. And he hands a sealed envelope that's like you can tell that it looks what would be it looks like wet. Like he hands it to Basil Wilberforce.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to I guess I have to take leave too. I'm gonna have to run. I've got to go see the MOT.
What
The
is the,
what?
is that a new training program?
You remember the MOT is the Master of Treasury, the bald, sweaty guy.
Okay. I'm terrible
That's okay.
with abbreviations. You remember the Master of Treasuries, don't you?
Oh, yes. He was quite the nervous fellow.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure I can put him at his ease.
Yeah, I can see it now. Just let me take care. Let me take care of it for you. You will have no troubles. You will have no troubles ever again, because corpses generally don't.
Don't worry about this bag of gold. I'll keep it safe as can be.
Well, I'm slightly sad that I didn't get any mail. Maybe mail will come for me tomorrow.
All right, so
He has another envelope that he hands that is like it is not sealed. It looks like a scrap piece of parchment, and it looks like it's been recycled because there's all other writing on it. He hands it to Zofan.
Are you kidding me? Oh, interesting. I guess I have been requested in the components area.
You would know that is the term for the peasant area, and you visited there when you bought the hunting dog and the warthog.
Zofan had never been there.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, he did go, because like that's where people who weren't going out to
Everybody
party
split,
there. Yeah, okay, so he was there.
And Brucon turns and looks at Orion and says, "Yeah, oh yeah, and the mayor wants to talk to you."
okay,
So
we are popular fellows together.
Man, we are. Looks like we're the talk of the town.
We are the party.
All right, looks like we'll be splitting up the party. Brucon, was there anything else we would like to finish up our planning before going on our apparently new duties?
Oh, a human man, I believe he's a guard, named Newman came by, very concerned about Karn. He said that he didn't meet up with him. He was supposed to meet up with him for to have a drink or something. And anyway, he left. But I said that he was a bit concerned since Karn didn't show up to his meeting. So
that was for last night, not today. Oops.
yes, you said you're going to meet for him when food and prayers or whatever, and you never showed up.
Karn's going to have to go and give him a visit, I guess.
he said that he has returned. He had to go to work, so he went to. He's working at the prison.
Hey, Karn.
Yes, friend.
It would be maybe you could bring all three some food there. You know.
Oh, you have some food you'd like me to take to my friends?
I'll look at Brucon and sort of, okay. Sounds like a busy day for all of us. Was there anything else?
No, that is all. You are all paid up through the 16th, I believe. I have been paid as well, so thank you.
You have been most helpful. If you could give us a few minutes before we start on our individual errands, we would be most appreciative.
Oh, yes, and he backs out, opens the door, backs out of the room, bows a couple times, closes the door.
I'll make sure I actually hear, footsteps sort of walking away.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Looks like our days are getting full here.
Do we want
Looks like our days are getting.
Do we want to split the party?
But,
Or do we want to go one by one with everybody in trail?
Hiding.
Yeah. So, Karn, I was just suggesting that you bring the guys food to set a precedent so they don't get suspicious when we do it again. That's all.
Oh, that is a great idea. That is really a great
Food and
idea. I'll
drink.
go straight to the front desk and ask them to prepare me 3 wonderful meals
Okay.
for travel.
All right. So our wonderful GM, are we doing this in sequence or are we doing this in parallel? Are you really gonna run 5 or 6 different lines, or
It's up to you guys.
we
I mean,
gonna
I'm just
sort of
kind of
break
each
together?
giving your own little set piece. So you can decide how you want to do it, but yeah, you can decide what you want to do.
Well, okay. Let's start with preferences. To visit the mayor, I definitely want backup, and oddly enough, I won't. I won't Basil, Dustin's Basil, that is, to go with me, just to spread around his own manner of confusion, so that we can keep the mayor off balance, and of course anybody else who wants to come.
I did need to I did need to talk to the mayor about making sure that the tournament was going smoothly.
Yes, we do. So
Yeah,
was it Clintock or Felix who suggested the feats of dexterity to go along with that? We could drag them along.
Oh, that was definitely Clintock. I think I should visit Camille discreetly, but I do agree we should probably all go to visit the mayor. So we want to run our little errands and then meet up to visit the mayor. I think that seems like a good plan.
I mean,
And we need and if we're going to run with Clintock's idea of scavenge up a body and burn it to leave in place of us, we need to know where the hell to scavenge up a body. What?
About the morgue.
I mean, we could go to the morgue, but then that is actually going into a place and stealing something. Far easier just to dig up a grave.
True. I was going to suggest that we bribe somebody to give us the bodies out the back door.
That's a paper trail, Basil. Why would you ever want to leave that behind?
A paper trail? A bribe? A paper trail?
More of a metal trail, shall we say.
Oh, right. We do. Right. We do know. We have more people to work release, and we've got this guy who's really good at taking out bodies.
We can tell him we need to figure out how many bodies we need to replace, because we don't want to just replace oxes. There's going to be other bodies in there, right? other people in there?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. You really want to haul around? What was it? 8 different.
Well, we got a
Try
few
to
of
haul
them
around
released.
8 different bodies.
We got a few of them released. So how many did that leave behind?
I don't know. Was it?
I think there are maybe 4 or 5 other ones that are there, but in theory, we could just say that they escaped.
And they were the one that set the fire. Well, we would have to leave some kind of evidence that they escaped, but Ox's cell wasn't open.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
I was
were
like, how
8.
are they going to confuse? Couldn't they confuse it Ox's body for somebody else's? Like, what would make them think it was Ox's that was burned up beyond recognition?
Because it was in his cell.
Yeah, it would have to be in his.
Yeah. So there were 8. We work release 2.
That's a lot.
We could, if we're going to be doing digging, we could try to work release at least 1 more. Mr. Shovel.
Yes.
Work release them all except for Ox.
I think that seems
Excuse me, there's a couple there I don't want out. At least 2 I don't want out. And the more people we have to wrangle, the more problem it is. Because they might just decide to go off on their own. But the creepy guy, there were at least 2 creepy guys, and of course, Miss, you remind me of my boyfriend. Oh, hell no. I like Clintock's idea. Let's do some individual errands and then meet up and go to the mayor and maybe the master of treasury, because I don't know if Basil is necessarily feels like facing the guy alone.
Felix can go with.
Okay. Oh, guys. Okay. Looks like unless I want to break my back, I need to go spring shovel guy. So I'll go with Karn to the jail.
I can take care of if we're going to go to them. I was just going to get my workout of the day in anyway. So, got to keep a WOTD. I could try to integrate some full body exercises and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I could take care of finding the body.
All right. So it looks like we got the beginnings of a plan here. Karn, Orion, to jail to bring food, and Spring, shovel guy. We'll have to get a name for him. Looks like Basil Wilberforce, is that last name? Goes to starts looking up bodies. Clintock wants to see Camille by discreetly, as he says. If you get some action, I don't want to know, because it's been a long dry spell for me. And then we'll meet up to go to the mayor, and that leaves what? The meeting with the components area and the master of treasury.
Well, Basil Wilberforce has to go to the master of the treasury.
And Felix is going to
Sorry. Dustin, what's your Basil's last name, or how do I?
He doesn't have a last name.
It's
It's
Bessex. The Bessex brothers.
Yeah. He was, I guess Bessex.
Where you guys want to go first?
I'm happy to go visit Camille.
Okay.
First. It'll take us long.
All right. So you get all your winter cloaks and stuff, and step outside, and the cold hits you, and everybody gets to give me a con save. I'm sorry, that's technically not a con save. Roll under your con.
Roll under my con. All right. Well, what the hell is my con? My con is that.
Success on both.
Oh,
Karn makes it, Basil does not. Basil has a con of 6 and I rolled a 7.
All right. So if you fail, the cold just sinks into your body. You have a -1 to everything today.
yeah.
Good news for Zilfan.
So you leave the rejuvenating bog and head in the direction. So the noble area is kind of on the way to the mayor's area. So Clintock, you head off into the mayor's area past some guards who let you in because it is kind of a gated community. All the houses are on stilts, as you remember, you know, high up above. And you did, I believe you did go to Camille's house before to drop off her husband.
Yeah.
Which is near Remy's house. And stepping up, you know, you go up some steps and to the door, and you knock on the door, and a young woman answers, who is obviously the maid, and she says, and you hear a voice in the background. She's like, "Oh yes, please let him in, let him in." And she lets you in and leads you into like a parlor. There's like a rug on the floor with a chandelier. And Camille is dressed in some kind of green satin night dress, like evening gown, and it is like 10 o'clock in the morning with her black pearls. And she's got a table with some wine, and she's you can smell the cranberry orange scones are cooking somewhere in the house. She said, "Oh, Clintock, I'm glad
Remember, if you get lucky, I don't want to know."
I'm glad you got my message. Glad you could come by.
I rushed as soon as I got it.
Excellent. Would you like some wine? Obviously, it's not from the mayor's winery. This is actual quality stuff.
You know, it is quite early in the morning, but I would never refuse an offer from one such as yourself.
Oh, thank you. And she has the maid rushes off and brings back a bottle that she rejects, and then comes back. So that's good. And pours you a couple of glasses of 2 glasses of red wine. She drinks it. I can't thank you enough for helping save my husband. You know, this kind of thing has been going on with the mayor for quite some time, and to be honest, really didn't bother me so much. You know, the riffraff got caught up in this whole press gang type of thing. But apparently they're branching out. And now with his increased tax rates to pay for this festival, which I have heard, of course, that you may be part of. I mean, I think you seem to be a man of knowledge and strategy. I think you were part of this group, I've heard.
I mean, I was recruited
Well,
on good authority, but the taxation is a completely other matter. Clearly, the kingdom should be paying for such a festival.
yes, it should be. Anyway. So these events have finally pushed me to the edge. I've pretty much had enough. And I'm going to run for mayor. And I think that the mayor Gumdrop is well known. He is very popular among the commoners here in Klinkville. The nobility do not have not fond of him, but we don't have enough of the sway of the votes to remove him. However, if something were to happen at this festival that made him look bad, there'd be a very good chance that I could win an election.
Well, I think that is a capital idea, Camille, but I do question how much capital do you exactly have?
Well, what does that require? I mean, from the services of yourself. I mean, just
No, I would never do such a thing, but I would certainly, I imagine that such a thing could happen.
yes.
I mean, it is a wide-ranging, complex organization of festivities. It is quite hard to make sure everything happens just so. And
Yes.
not only that, with the way that the Treasury has been responding to the needs of the party, well, let's just say they're underfunding these festivities. So certainly things will have been cut, corners will have been cut, and who knows what could result from such frivolous and frustrating decisions.
Yes. I also heard there was supposed to be free beer.
Oh, yes, free beer. And clearly, I don't have to tell you what happens when people drink a little too much.
Or should I say they don't get their allotted amount?
Exactly. I'm just putting this out here, but if to say something happened and the beer was not provided, a certain, I don't know, newly arrived competition for the mayoral office stepping in to provide said resources, well, I happen to imagine that the citizenry would back whoever that candidate all the way to the mayoral office.
What if I was to say that on the evening of the 15th, a ship named the Lucky Strike will arrive in Klinkville with a substantial amount of brew and alcohol, fresh from New Tanchow City that the mayor has sent?
It would be really sad if it went missing. It'd be a rather unlucky strike, shall we say.
Yes, but lucky for us. For your services, what is your going rate?
Do you have a sailing vessel?
Sailing vessel. I might be able to provide you with one. How big of a ship do you need?
I don't know, one that can hold maybe 20. Doesn't have to be a large vessel, just something easily crewed by, maybe 5 to 10 actively, and some in reserves for sleeping and such, for shifts.
Yes, I think I can do this.
Then it is a deal.
Yes. Well, any additional information or anything I need to do, you let me know. And I appreciate your time.
The one caveat is that I'd like for the ship to never have formally been here. Whatever that means, whatever that takes.
Not a problem. She offers you another drink if you haven't finished yours yet.
Yeah, I will go ahead and take another glass. And when I go for it, I will gently touch her hand and say, I will make sure that I return one day, and we can continue our conversation further.
Oh, I look forward to this. And then hopefully I will be mayor.
Well, I look forward to visiting the mayor.
Oh, okay. And she thanks you, and the maid comes in and gives you some cranberry orange scones, fresh, wrapped up in like a little cloth. She heads upstairs and leads you out.
Happily take them.
Okay.
And then split off.
All right, I don't know if you go and meet with the rest of the party before they head to the mayor's house, or you guys are gonna, Basil, Wilberforce is gonna meet the Mott, or Zofan is gonna head, or you're gonna go to the jail. I don't know what's next.
Yeah, I had a thought on that. I want to take Bessics with us to the jail because Mr. Shovel there will also, Mr. Shovel there will also know the best place to find bodies. So, you know, we spring him, we turn him and Bessics over to, you know, find something. I figure that's a good sequence of events. So that would be Orion, Barn, and Bessics headed for the jail.
Okay, so you head into the admin district.
Make sure we get the food and drink for the guards.
Right, yeah, you've got food and drink.
Probably want to do the food and drink thing later in the evening when we actually want them to be asleep. Yeah.
Well,
No. We're not drugging them now. We're setting a precedent so that when Karn comes back the next day, for example, with food and drink, it won't be something strange and unusual.
Gotcha.
Hey, I missed breakfast, but here I bought it for you, and then he can do it the next day without, you know, without them wondering, you know, what the hell was going on. Karn's just this great guy, you know.
Do we know if that attack and everything that happened is a matter of public knowledge, or were we able to keep that on the down low? Or
I don't know. About to find out.
okay,
You had you know
Well,
past the Emperor's Palace to the little squat jail. As the two guards are sitting out there, shivering because it's friggin' cold today, and so it's Karn, Orion, and Basil Bessics.
Yeah.
Okay, is the hunting dog with you?
yes.
Okay, so you see Newman. He recognizes the dog before he recognizes you. And he comes over and he's like, oh, Karn, are you okay? I heard about what happened. Are you all right?
Oh, yes, my friend. A little worse for the wear, but I will recover soon. And I apologize. It caused me to miss our dinner last night, but I brought you and your fellow guards here some wonderful food. I hope it's wonderful food. I paid well for it.
So yeah, you can get like anything because there's a lot of cranberries in this part of the world. So anything with cranberries, so there's like cranberry muffins, something like that, and some.
I mean, is it close enough to breakfast time, or would it be more like?
Yeah, I
lunch?
mean, yeah, cranberry muffins is good enough anytime. Nice and hot on a cold day, don't matter. Oh, it's like, oh,
cranberry muffins.
he's like, oh yes, thank you. I heard what happened. I can't believe it. I can't believe that the guards didn't step in and help you.
You know, a good man does good things, and sometimes they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
Perhaps they should have stepped in but they didn't. But
Yeah.
Cuthbert provides.
man. Well, I don't know. I was talking with my friends. We weren't about what happened to you. We don't care much for the mayor's guards at all.
I've heard that sometimes they can get up to a little bit of no good themselves.
Yeah, they tend to look the other way with stuff, especially down at that Sailor's Seduction. I noticed the paladin there of Cuthbert was down there too, running people off.
Yeah, I did try to, you know, warn some people of some things. Tried to make sure that they knew what they were getting into if they went to that place.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it seems kind of disingenuous for the mayor to get money from both ends the way that he does with that.
yep. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
So tell me, how far does this distrust for the mayor run? How deep does this go?
Well, I don't think the nobles like him very much. The common folk love him, but I can tell you a lot of us guards don't like the mayor's guards. I was going to say, I know you're a man of faith, but I know where those two guards hang out. I'm just saying.
Do you now?
Yeah.
I mean, Cuthbert doesn't frown on passing information like that along.
I know.
Oh, Paladin's trying to be subtle. Oh boy.
If they had done their jobs. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You just give us the word and we'll deal with them.
Ooh.
That is very kind of you, my friend. Let me think upon this. For it seems to me that perhaps I should deal with this on my own. But I do appreciate it very much. It's possible that you say the common folk like him very much, but the nobles dislike him. So he wins the vote because the common folk like him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What if the word was to get out about the mayor's guards? Or is it too well known?
The common folk probably, it's kind of known that they're kind of corrupt. So.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
The common folk don't care as long as they get free beer, right?
Oh yeah, something about that. That's all right. The festival's coming up. That would be a nice break, some free beer.
Are you working the night of the festival?
Well, it's many nights. I think I have one of those days off. I'll try to.
Well, if you're working, I'll bring you by some food. I'm on the planning committee. I can spend a few minutes and bring you some of the food
You're
for
on
the festival.
Oh, you're on the mayor's planning committee?
Yes, sir, I am.
Wow, I'm surprised you're not there right now talking to him about this.
Well, as a matter of fact, we're supposed to be there soon. And I was thinking about bringing it up with him to see how much he knew. But now I wonder if maybe I should just pretend like it never happened. It sounds like he probably does know.
Yeah, Orion says, yeah, he's not going to change his stripes just because you call him out. The only way those types change is when they get their hands caught in a trap.
What do you suggest, friend? Catching his
Well,
hand.
we'll think of something. We'll think of something, I'm sure. In the meantime, though, we need to get work release for another useful person for the festival.
Oh, okay.
I'll head over. So Karn can stay there and talk up the guards a little more. I'll
Okay.
drag Bessix over to the what do you call it? The legal place. But
Okay.
Bessix is the one. Bessix is going to be the one taking control of Mr. Shovel.
Okay. All
Because
right.
the judge
We're gonna
last
whip him
time
into shape.
the judge last time signed him out, 1-to-1 person. So Bessix is going to take charge of Mr. Shovel there. Of course, I need to get his name and whatever before I go. But let's get that rolling.
So yeah, you go through a procedure. You go into the jail. It's musty. It's even though that it's very, very unseasonably cold, it's still kind of stuffy in here. And the guards recognize you, and they unlock the gate to go down into the jail. You meet the grave robber. They introduce him as his name is Muddy D. And he is rail thin with a beard. He's human. He's got a few rotten teeth in his mouth. And he is they're like, "You sure you want him?" Okay. And he hands you the paperwork, and he is basically in rags.
The rest
Okay,
of your
well,
life starts now.
What's that?
Welcome to the training plan.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm your new coach, and we're gonna pump you up. And Basil takes his right arm, which is the big one, and puts his hand around his, I think he's able to grasp all the way around.
Oh yeah,
his bicep.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is not acceptable. We're gonna get you to at least 5 times bigger.
All right.
But we're gonna have to move fast.
That's the first thing you need to do is go get this guy some clothes and shoes and food. You realize that, right? You can't train with the kind of meals that feed him here. And
What are they feeding you anyway?
I'll sort of look at Muddy D and say, I know my friend's a little unconventional. Stick with us and you'll do fine. We have use of your specialties.
I don't mind unconventional. He's a little lively though, but I don't mind it.
Yeah. You get the poor guy clothes and some food, and then we'll put him to work, or you'll put him to work.
Are these the clothes that you had on you when you came here, or are these standard issue uniforms?
This is I think this is the second pair.
Well, I suppose we could find you some clothes, and that is not going to be here.
All right. So they sign him out. They give you the piece of paper, and you head to the chancery with the columns and the steps of the marble building. Walk in, and there's a big long line, and you meet with a graying ape in purple robes with gold trim, sitting on like a throne-like chair. The same guy that you ran into before. And he kind of peers out looking at you. And he looks at this guy and he's like, is this another work release?
Absolutely. The mayor's plans are ongoing. We did say we would come back for others as the plans progress.
You did. And who is going to be his charge? Who is going to take care of him?
I've got him. I'm his new coach.
Oh. Okay.
And Basil just starts flexing. Trying to show his qualifications.
You do that again, you'll be in contempt.
Amazing.
I'll pat Basil on the back and say, you'll have plenty of chance to show how good you are at the festival.
Okay. I'm not sure why I've earned your contempt though, but that's okay. We can smooth it out later.
Oh God, she's gonna
Give me a 2d6 roll. And add your
Oh,
charisma.
God.
2d6 plus charisma is an 8.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. So he smiles at you. And he pulls like a rope that rings like this little bell, and a side door opens, and a human comes out, and they put like a stamp. He hands him a piece of paper and puts like a stamp on it, like a notary stamp on it, and says, "So I leave this this person in your charge, as you are his coach. He is to be returned the 18th. If he commits any crimes while he is in your charge, then he will serve the rest of his sentence, as will you."
There will be no crimes committed.
Let's hope not. You leave the chancery with Muddy D, the grave robber.
He'll fit right in with the rest of the crew.
He is now on work release. Now, if you go by the general store, it's the same price. Oh, it'd be actually 2 gold pieces to outfit him in some clothes. But Muddy is going to have to give the owner a little bit of a story and tell him about what happened.
And shovel. Don't forget, he has to have a shovel
yeah.
too.
Yes, he shovel.
A good quality one. A good quality one.
A couple of them, probably.
And some sailcloth. All right, couple of shovels, some sailcloth, cord, that sort of thing. I'm sure Muddy understands the mechanics of what we're going to be doing here. Probably better than Basics does.
Do you tell him that?
Oh, I tell him what we're doing.
Yes.
Basil wouldn't. Not yet.
Okay.
You gotta train before the match.
Okay. Yeah, you head to the general store and purchase I don't know what a shovel costs. To get a quality one, 3 gold pieces. Plus 2 for his outfit. So for 7 gold pieces, you can get all his stuff, whatever else you're gonna get. And he'll tell you, Muddy will spin his yarn about grave robbing to the owner, and basically that's how you get your kind of discounted price.
Okay.
And Basil will fork that over. What sort of meals do you have here? Do you have anything on the go?
We got some rations here.
Too many carbs. Do you have any dried meats?
Give me a D6 roll.
1.
He actually, up front on the counter, he has some smoked goat's meat. He said, "Yeah, actually, this came in just the other day. Compliments of the mayor, but for a couple gold pieces, you can have some. I'm not really into goat's meat."
How many pounds does he have?
He's just got like 1 pound of it. He's got it in like a little basket up at the counter.
I'll have all your goat meat.
He hands you the basket. He's like, "It's not my thing."
Thank you. And then he hands it to Muddy D. Eat up. You're gonna need that strength.
So Muddy starts hacking at it with his like 4 rotted teeth. He's just like cut into it, eat it. and he's got his new cloak and everything. And as soon as you hand him that shovel, you can see his eyes light up, and he starts holding it and looking at it. And there's a long, kind of uncomfortable time that he just kind of examines the shovel, and you can see him wistfully thinking probably of days long ago that he was working and doing what he was doing. He looks like a new man.
Orion just sort of. Orion just says sotto voice to the other two. As long as he doesn't lick it.
I know what you're thinking, Muddy D. And I'm thinking it too. That shovel needs a name. Every great weapon and hero has a name. So you should name your shovel.
Name the shovel. Extractor.
Nice.
It sounds oddly pertinent for what it's going to be doing.
Don't tease me.
That isn't my style. That's more of a Clintock thing.
Big Arm, I think we're going to be good friends.
It's Basil, but thank you. And Ethics is my brother. He's trying to score some hot mamas right now. At least that's what he said. So I'm sure you'll meet him later.
Well, hopefully the hot mamas too.
Anyways.
Okay. And Orion sort of looks at him. Orion sort of looks at him and just doesn't say anything, because there's nothing he can say at this point that will come out well in any way, shape, or form.
And then Basil says,
No,
okay, let's
wait a
go dig
minute.
up that body now.
I cannot let it stand. I will say, Essex could have them before. Muddy could have them afterwards. Everything works out that way.
Ethics doesn't like to share, not even with me. I doubt he would want to share with Muddy D. No offense to you. He's kind of protective about that.
Well,
It's a territory I try not to go to.
I'm looking at Muddy when he says that. Does Muddy get my implication?
He seems to nod to you as he's chewing on his goat jerky.
We got to go meet the mayor.
So Muddy
I'm not
D,
going to go out and hunt for bodies.
So Muddy D leaves with you guys. This is like the best day in his life. With his new clothes and his new shovel, the extractor, chewing on goat jerky, in anticipation of meeting hot mamas later. Now, whether he has to dig them up or not, I don't know. That could be the final kicker. All right, so
Yeah.
who's next? Are you going to the mayor, or we're going to see the Mott, or Zofan? Which one?
We could do Zofan.
So it's Zofan and Torjon are headed to the Capones area, which you would know is like the peasant area outside of Klinkville. Like I said, you've been there before when you got the hunting dog and the warthog. There's just a bunch of people that live in tents outside the city. So it is definitely a poorer part of town. You go past the rejuvenating bog, and there's a small retaining wall that you've noticed, but it's not really to keep anybody out. It's just a retaining wall kind of probably has been there for 1,000 years. And you pass that wall, and then in the distance, like a mile, you can see the tents and the smoke from people burning. You know, they got fires to keep warm because they all live in tents and little huts. And after asking around, you mentioned the name Dugan, and you're brought to like this small little tent, and there's this little grassy area that there's a pen around it, like for livestock, but there's no livestock in it. And he kind of, opens this young dwarven woman opens the flap and looks at you, and then there's a young a man behind him. He looks, and you recognize him immediately as the man that was in the ship the night that you saved from the sailor seduction. Hi.
Is this the dwarf?
Yeah, he's like, it is Zofan. Oh, thank you. I told you he'd come. I told you. He's got his hand on his presumably wife's shoulder. Like, I told you he'd come. This is the one I told you all about. Come on in. And he opens the little tent. You can feel the heat because there's a fire in the middle of the room. He's got a little cut in the top, and there's heat, and there's two little dwarven kids like playing on the floor, and the floor is basically just like hay and straw around, not close to the fire, but on the outskirts. It's very modest. The table, some bedrolls, like a shelf that's got some like food or canned food on there. Hi.
And this is a tent, or is this like a shanty?
This is a tent.
This is it's nice and warm in here. It's cold out.
Well, it is. It's a bitter cold today, I tell you. But I thank you again so much for saving me that night. It was most unfortunate series of events that brought me here, and I can't. And then one of the kid pipes up, "Yeah, Papa got drunk and stupid." You quiet there. But
well, that sort of thing happens at the sailor seduction. I hope you've learned your lesson.
Oh,
and will at least be a little less drunk or stupid.
Oh, I tell you, Mary here's got a wicked right hook. I'll tell you that. So I'm not doing that again. She's like, hey, let me get you some tea. And she walks over to the fire. Let me get you some tea. Have a seat. Oh, who is your friend? I haven't met this man before.
This is Torjon.
Is he some sort of is he your apprentice? I'm assuming you're a man of magic or something.
Torjon, who's obviously an elf, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Drapes his arm around Zofan and said, "Would you believe this man? He rescued me too, just a couple of weeks back. I was a prisoner in the Underdark."
My God, my word! I don't know why I deserve the honor. I thank you again, Zofan. Have some tea here.
I would love some, and it's not a problem. I don't thank me. It's if anything, I'm just lucky to have not died yet, as we all are standing here.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I tell you,
it wasn't your husband's time.
Thankful.
Nor was it Torjon's.
Oh, thank the gods.
So tell me about the right.
Mind. What is it now?
Tell me about the right hook.
No,
how many right hooks did he leave?
Mary just kind of looks at you. I know you don't want to. No, you don't want no part of that. I tell you.
Torjon looks at Zofan and goes, "Besides which, that's more Basil's thing."
Yeah. There could be multiple interests. So
True.
I'm sure you didn't quite call me down all this way just to give your thanks and a cup of tea.
It
If you
is,
had that,
I-
it's totally.
I give you whatever I have. We've got some bread here and some a little bit of cheese and some meats for you, to eat. I give you whatever food I have, and I also he shows you the sword that you threw down that he picked up. I return the sword to you. Of course, it is not mine. In the chaos, I ended up with it. It is certainly.
I don't remember throwing down a sword. Oh, no worries. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this the paladin sword? Did it get dropped in the fray?
No. I believe a sword did get dropped. Some sort of weapon got dropped for him to use. Maybe it was a dagger.
Okay. Yeah, I remember something vaguely like that too, but okay. As far as Storyshine goes, he looks around, these people have nothing. He'll basically, if they offer him food, he'll just pass it to the kids.
They eat all the time. Your guests. I mean, don't this is a blessing. I'm here. Thank Mojo Jamai and the gods that I've returned.
Who is? I am not familiar. Well, is Zolfan familiar with Mojo Jamai?
Give me an intelligence roll.
That's a fail.
Okay. Maybe you heard him in passing. The god of the storm, the god of the forge, the god of power.
What is that part of the? Is that part of the ape pantheon, or is it one of those offshoot fringe religions like Saint Cuthbert?
It says, and one of the kids pipes up, "You mean those ape shitheads? You're quiet, you." Sorry. Of course not. It's one of the original gods of this world, not these ape spirits. I've heard of Cuthbert, but I can tell you. Your friend Karn was. I heard a man. I heard he looked wicked. How is he? He was every which way.
He is. Thankfully, he is recovering. He got beat up very, very badly. And he was lucky, as we all were, that Saint Cuthbert decided that his time in this world was not yet done.
Oh yes. Praise be to Cuthbert then. Yes. Oh well. Send my blessings to him as well. Where did you learn your magic?
Zelfan just kind of rolls his eyes.
Where did you learn your magic?
I do not have magic.
I say you were not there, and then all of a sudden you appeared. You are a man of magic. You're a man of many talents, Zolfan. I can tell by that I can tell by that cloak you wear of many colors. What is that particular color? I'm not sure.
Oh, you have an eye for quality. Look, I think I can get you a cloak of many colors.
Oh, hey.
And one for each of the kids too.
Oh my word. I don't think I deserve all of this.
I think you deserve far more than you currently have right now.
Oh, well.
For all the excess that goes on over that 3-foot retaining wall. None of it seems to be bleeding this way all that much.
No. The mayor says he has these charity organizations that come in here and give money, but never see it down here. And then his wife kind of like looks at him. He doesn't need to be bothered with these. No, this is Zolfan. He asked a question. I'm going to answer. Doesn't seem to be bothered. And I was hoping to get a good income, to get some money, to get some decent, so get 4 walls and a door for my family, but I had a prized flock of goats. Mayor sent people down here and took them, paid me a pince.
Okay.
So a prize flock of goats, and they were taken by the mayor himself or one of his
No, of course.
messengers.
The mayor doesn't do anything him damn self. He sent one of his minions down here, said that they needed them for the blessings of some ceremony, something for the festival, and he paid me practically nothing for them. You saw the pen out there. There's nothing.
Is that your livelihood?
It's gone. I couldn't believe it. It was practically nothing. I was distraught that evening. I ended up in the sale of seduction. And the kid says, drunk and stupid. Yes, you, quiet.
At least it's better than
Well,
free fucking beer.
I completely understand why you might get a little drunk and maybe a little bit stupid that night hearing that.
Torsion pipes up and says, I mean, does the mayor take advantage of other people around here? Is yours a common sentiment?
You would probably find some in here. Yes, of course. I mean, there's money that comes in here, but who knows? Only the certain few end up with it.
Do you know who the few that end up with it in this area are?
No, there's no telling. I tried to keep my nose clean. Was just raising my goats, and then all of a sudden they were going to feed my family. I was going to get some money for them.
Well,
I'll tap Torsion. Torsion. I keep getting this mixed up. Sorry. I'll tap Zofan on the shoulder and say, a side word for a minute, and I'll steer him to a corner and lean in and go, seems like the more distractions, the better. Maybe we clue these guys in that the festival is going to go bad at some point, and it'd be a great time for them to go in and get some of that free food and beer that has been denied them. What you think?
I think that's an excellent idea. I'm not sure whether they would already be invited to the festival and privy to such things. But
but they don't know. They don't know the festival's going to have some, how shall we say this, interruptions.
That is fair. I hate to think of what those goats are going to be used for.
Oh, that's terrible. I wonder if the characters will ever put the best together.
But only beyond that, this man and this family no longer has a profession, or at least any sort of way to feed themselves beyond the festival.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm with you on that. I want to help them too. And surprisingly enough, Torsion had more gold than I think he would have, but okay. No, I mean, so we'll turn out. Okay. Torsion will turn back around and basically say, yeah, are the people outside the wall invited to the festival or being given anything for it? But he is promising, free food and free fucking beer for everybody.
He looks over at his kids. I heard the rumors about this. Sometimes the festival's just a couple of days, so maybe we get caught. Maybe we end up hearing about it. Maybe we have time to see it. I don't know. I mean, it's usually for the folks in the town.
Okay. No, it's a longer festival this time. I'll tell him the date it's supposed to start, how long it's supposed to go. But you know what? We heard something interesting. Let's call it a rumor at this point. There might be a bit of a disruption, you know? And if during that time, you know, a few of the less advantaged people out here were close to the food and beer and some of it vanished, well, you know, that sort of thing happens during a disruption.
Well, I don't. As much as I wouldn't mind getting my fill, I don't. That's not the example I need to set. I don't need to be causing problems, and then I end up in that jail. I heard bad things about that jail in town.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I
but-
understand. You have to be a responsible father. I understand.
But we happen to be planning the festival, and well, it takes a lot of work to get especially one of this proportion off the ground. We could we could definitely use some help and some muscle. You know, so if you're looking for a job,
Yes, take it, whatever it is.
we might be able to provide.
When do I start?
Let me confer with the rest of the party planning committee and see where they need help the most. But you can be sure that you'll be placed.
Oh, you've done a great thing, Zofan, and your friend here. Yes.
And Zofan will look to the rest of the family. Like, do they need jobs too?
The wee ones could definitely work. Sure. Mary here, I could. Yes, we will all work. What does it take? What do we need to do?
Message runner. You know, little guys could be message runners. How wee are we talking about? Equivalent of how old?
Like 7 or 8.
Well,
Okay.
certainly
I had 5
they could
jobs
be
when I
message
was
runner.
that age.
Right. Eating, pooping, sleeping, and what were the other two? Yeah, right.
Well, it takes all types to make the festival go off well, and even afterwards, if your family does, you know, if you do well, and there might be other opportunities. I have to see what a longer term looks like, but at least it'll help you out for now.
Very good. I thank you, Zofan.
So I got a question. This is sort of an economics question. I mean, day labor for what? 4 people for a day or 2 would pay about what?
It's the market rate. Accounting for the higher price of goods recently. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't get accounted for. Oh, I've hired help, a peasant mercenary for 1 gold piece per month.
That what it is? Oh, wage per month, 1 gold piece. Wow. You know, considering our character's money, that means we're technically rich, but easy come, easy go. Torsion will basically say, you know, we understand, we understand you may be short right now, so here's an advance and pass him a gold piece. We'll
Okay.
contact you. We'll contact you shortly with details.
Thank you very much. Stay warm out there.
We'll try. The chill is staved off in your home. It's lovely, by the way,
Oh, thank you.
but it won't be off for long.
So you leave his tent in the Campones area and smell the fires. Go
Take
ahead.
the sword.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I take the sword.
All right. And you head back. Let's see. We've got meeting with the mayor and the meeting with the Mott. I think that's left, right? Which one?
do you think we should do first?
Feel like we should leave the mayor for last.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Basil, go see the Mott.
You had to do to the Ye Old Squid Tavern, which is in the market area, like on the outskirts. You can see one of the towers. One of the one of the towers, the defensive towers, and the river goes past it, and you can see the ocean. And it is like this little kind of shack. It's not much of anything. It just says Ye Old Squid Tavern on it. The sign is faded. There's a door. There's a dirty window next to it. You go in, and the little bell rings. It's dimly lit. And a very large man, ducking kind of like behind a bar, kind of ducking behind a bar, like behind one of the beams. You can tell he's like 10 feet tall. He's like, "Can I help you?"
Hi up there. I'm supposed to meet the master of the treasury here.
And you hear somebody like in another booth go, "Psst, psst, over here, over here," because the guy looks very confused.
Oh,
Why would
never
that?
mind.
If you're talking about that SOB that raised the tax rate, if I find him, I'm gonna rip his head off and throw it down the street.
Oh, I thought that was the mayor that did that.
Oh, you can send him here too, and I'll do the same thing. And he
That's
steps
very good to
closer.
know. I will send the mayor right to you.
You don't happen to know him, do you?
Oh, I've met him once.
Really?
Do you know him? Yeah, I met him once when we first got to town. He wanted us to vote for him. He didn't seem like my cup of tea.
Too preoccupied with politics.
So what are you doing in here anyway?
Oh, I'm meeting that guy over there.
And you see a person in a hood, like, over here.
Mr. Hoodie over there. Here, I want to go ahead and get some wine sent over to the table if I could, and I'll lay down like piece of gold or whatever.
Oh, coming right up, friend. Is Felix with Basil?
Yeah, Felix.
Okay.
Okay.
So he looks at you two, and then he goes behind the bar, and he gets a bottle out, and he starts, wipes the glasses out with his shirt, pours the wine in there,
Classy place.
and then kind of leans over the bar. He can lean, and then kind of drops them on the table, because not much of a walkway between the tables and the bar. And he goes back into like a back corner and sits down. And well, let's say both of you guys have met the Mott before, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So you sit down in the booth, and the wine is sitting there, and he has got a cloak on with a beard. He didn't have a beard before, and long hair. So obviously this is some sort of disguise he is wearing. He's like,
Brilliant.
"Shh, quiet. Don't be telling people I'm here. They would kick my ass if they found me."
Well, I didn't know that you were such an unpopular kind of guy.
Yes, I had to raise the money for the festival, and it didn't go over well with some of the merchants, to say the least.
Imagine that. They don't want to pay for lots of extra stuff. What is wrong with them?
Clearly, they are not dedicated to the Festival of Light.
No, they're not. But I didn't realize you. Well, good to see you again, Felix. It is.
Yes,
So-
Felix.
Okay. I noticed. When I showed you that coin that I got, I sensed in that moment that he looks at Basil that you knew something about it, And that you would be the person I would need to talk to about getting one of these. Would really like to have one for my collection.
Oh, well, I mean, I've seen something like that before, but I wouldn't know where to find them. Not off the top of my head. I mean, it's surely a princely sum that would take just to purchase it.
Yes, I mean, it is easily. I'd be willing to pay 300 gold for one.
Wow. It's 300 gold, you say? I sure wish I did know where to find that.
Yes.
You know, so I don't know where to find it right now, but I could put out some feelers and see. Can I get back to you in a day or two, maybe?
Oh well. I mean, I guess so. I just have a bad feeling about this festival, so I don't know. I mean, a day or two would be fine.
So before the festival, then you'd like to do something.
Yes. You know.
Well, I can try to meet you here tomorrow night. That's what the 13th, right? And well, yeah, I could try to meet you here tomorrow night. And if I have something, just go ahead and bring 300 gold with you just in case I have something. And I'll see if I can find it for you.
Okay. I could probably do something. Yeah, I could meet you here. Yes, after the bells and as the sun has gone down when it's sufficiently dark enough.
Okay. And if I don't have anything, I'll still come along and let you know that,
Okay.
sorry, I couldn't do anything with it. But
Just don't mention my name.
what was your name? I don't know your name.
Good. We'll keep it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Are you perhaps looking for a way to get out of town unencumbered in case the festival goes bad? Is that what you're thinking?
Thought has always crossed my mind.
Because it sounds like the people in the town aren't very fond of you right now.
No, it's happened before, though. When you're a man in my position, sometimes you have to make decisions that people don't like, and but this time there's something's going on, and I can sense it. I don't know. Something. I think it's bigger than just people irritated with the tax. I think there's something in the air.
Tell me something. Do you have any sway over the mayor's guards?
He takes a big drink and spills it. I mean, what do you mean by sway?
Well, if we say arrange some way to help you get out of town unseen, you could make them not pay attention to a certain area for a certain amount of time because they're going to be too busy watching something else that you consider to be of great importance, say a transfer of a large amount of funds.
I might be able to finagle something as he's wiping the sweat off his face. I might be able to help you with something like that.
Give me a minute to confer with my friend here. Hey,
plan, Basil?
Hey, Felix, what do you think of the idea that maybe we have him take the ship's guards on the docks away on the 15th to guard a fake movement of castle treasury or something like that? And so that way he can be smuggled off on a ship. But don't tell him the name of our ship. Give him the name of the ship, the Lucky Strike. Tell him we'll smuggle him on board that. Something along those lines.
Always good to have contingency plans.
And then that way the guards aren't there and we are going there to get ourselves out of Dodge pretty quick.
Seems like a good idea, Basil.
So I'll go back to him and tell him, yeah, we might be able to arrange something. We'll see about the silver, but maybe we can also help you arrange a clandestine way out of town if you happen to need it. But you would have to be able to get the guards off the pier.
I think I can arrange that then.
All right. We'll meet you back here tomorrow night. After
Yes.
the bell.
You hear the bark. Another drink? It's like he almost like jumps at it. No. We're fine.
I did mention you could keep the change from that gold, correct?
Appreciated. Well,
Sir, I guess our time here is done now. But we'll be back tomorrow night. Unless there was something else you thought of.
no. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Okay.
My original thought was try to roll him for the 300 gold that I told him to bring along with him.
Yeah, it would have been pretty. I mean, disappearing him, quote unquote, would have caused a big disruption. But again, we don't know. We don't know if the royal scryer who keeps getting the weather wrong is a real scryer and could track us down or not.
All right. So you leave the Mott in the Ye Olde Squid Tavern in the Merchant District, and the only thing left, I think, is to meet the mayor.
Yeah. Tell them.
Yeah.
All right. So it is mid-afternoon, and you are all headed to the mayor's house. Is his obscene, ridiculous mansion is just outside of Klinkville. As you remember, right near the ocean, right in the northeast corner. You pass some guards. You pass the little gate that takes you up to like a second floor terrace where you met him one other night. And you go around into like this courtyard where there's this it looks like a dragon, not really sure. It's some sort of winged creature with its mouth open and there's fire breathing out of it, obviously for warmth because it's some sort of outdoor pavilion. And the mayor is there. And there's a bunch of people around, like looks like they're doing a play or they're rehearsing something. There's a lot of greenery and plants that probably, you would guess, get brought in, moved around so they don't die in this cold weather.
Yeah.
And he's kind of standing out here, just kind of looks like might be directing them or something. And he's got a big cloak that's like got a like some kind of like puffy vest on and a big beret. Is it Orion going to see him or everybody?
I believe it's everybody.
The whole
Yeah.
the whole-
So it's
all right.
how many of us are there? Like when we all like get like it's like a we're at least like 10
Yeah,
and
it's
like
enough.
10 or 12 deep.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay. Orion and friends. Have a drink, have a seat, have some drinks. And he comes up to he just comes up to the group. I heard about Karn. Is he okay? There he is.
Yes, yes, I took a little bit of a beating, but Cuthbert provides. I'll be fine.
Oh, there's a cushioned seat right here, if you would like to sit.
He creaks and sits slowly,
Oh,
acts like he's not wincing in pain. Oh, thank you.
yeah. Somebody comes over and brings you a little bench to put your feet up and have some drinks, some wine. There's some rehearsals for a play that's going to be performed during this festival. I'm making sure the final plans are everything is finally coming together. But if I could speak to Orion in private, I would prefer that if that's okay.
Absolutely. I just thought maybe we were discussing plans, and several of my compatriots are on the planning committee.
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm
But as you
so relieved that I'm so happy that they took the time to come here. I didn't want to trouble all of you. Just a couple of things I just wanted to discuss with you personally because, reasons. So he pulls you aside, and you're in this big courtyard. He pulls you over to one of these green plants, and he's like, he looks over at the group, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't expect everyone to be here. Just you're the reasonable one in the group. I mean, I'm having a little bit of a problem. These Cuthbert fanatics are causing me problems."
Okay.
If you could tone them down for just a bit. It's tragic what has happened to poor Karn and his of course, helping these people who were kidnapped or whatever happened on the docks that night. But now these fanatics are in some kind of fervor, and now they're at different establishments like the Sailor Seduction, keeping patrons away. And now the merchants are upset with me because I have these fanatics in town, and I don't want to put down the heavy hand on them because I don't want to cause a lot of problems before the festival. But I know the Emperor would not be, when he returns, will not be happy that Saint Cuthbert is riling things up.
Ah, well, Karn thinks me a brother in arms, and I'm certain I can leverage him to convince his brethren to calm down a bit. I think I can help you out there, indeed, and I will be happy to do so.
Yes. And what is this? I've heard of.
And I understand they are very wearing on one's patience all too often.
Yes, and for some reason, I've heard that one is in your charge. One from the jail.
Ah, yes. In a twist of irony, we plan to use them to help the festival. I'm sure you appreciate the irony.
Yes, I do, but he's one that just won't shut up. So I don't know.
Oh, he's been convinced to take care of Karn. He's going to be out of the public eye for a bit.
Okay.
And afterwards, well, he will be out of the public eye. Back in jail, of course.
Oh, good. Good. Well, the beer, the libations should be here just on time. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I do have a list from Makanya Shinti of those who from those acts that you requested.
Excellent. The Cognoscenti is a good man. I'm sure you appreciate his services quite a bit.
Yes. So if you look over those acts and determine which one that you think is appropriate, that would be delightful. And just tone Karn and his ilk down. I don't. The merchants are, of course, a little upset with the Mott about the increases tax, but I assured them that the festival will bring in plenty of revenue, and that it will lift everyone's spirits, and soon enough, it will all work out.
Indeed, I truly believe that it will all work out in the end. And I'm happy to be working with you to that destination.
Also, I don't know, but there's a few in your group I would say that may be light of a finger. I would ask you to keep an eye on them as well.
No problem.
I mean,
No problem. You just keep them away.
You've done a great thing.
Go
Remy
ahead,
has been
please.
returned. She's been saved. This is, and everything. I just, I don't want anything to go wrong. The Accursed looking on this, and the merchants are looking on this. This is going to be my crowning achievement.
I understand perfectly, and I will be happy to help the festival go swimmingly. I imagine in truth that it will be remembered, as you said, as your crowning achievement for a long time.
Excellent. Well, many blessings to you, and the gods, may they give us the perfect weather and may everything work out. I got to get this production, this play set right, just to set the tone. And of course,
a side note.
yes.
You mentioned the gods and weather, and it has come up before. How good is your prognosticator? Because he does not seem to be able to get the weather right. I mean, is he truly good, or and just having a bad patch, or is he perhaps a little less good than he appears?
Well, let me tell you this. Can he turn things from stone to mud? Yes, he can. Yes, he can do this. Can he turn things invisible and put it in my hand and make it reappear? Yes, he can do this. Can he cast a great light and illuminate a room? Yes, he can do this. But the weather? No. He has failed so many times. He claims it's beyond even his understanding. Do you know of anyone who is who could do this?
I have only met one being who I suspect had the power to do so, but unfortunately, he is off in a completely different part of the world on his own quest. But I will certainly keep it in mind if I come up with someone who can do that. It's more of a curiosity. Everyone else around you seem to be, how shall we say this, quite professional and competent, but your problems with him seem to indicate something otherwise.
It is very difficult to find a sage. He's been trusted over the years. I've known him for quite some time. So if I could find someone to replace him, I would.
I will keep an eye out, but obviously my primary goal was to make the festival a smashing success, as you desire.
I hope so.
Excellent. Well, it seems I have things to do. Thank you. Thank you for your trust in me. I will see that it is well repaid.
Very good. And he comes over and thanks everyone, and then gets back and gets the group together, and they're in like some kind of costumes, and he's just like, okay, take it from the top.
Excuse me, Mayor. Do you have enough people, enough workers, to make this festival as successful as it needs to be?
Who is this Zofan asking him?
It is Zofan, yeah.
I mean, I would have to check with Cognoscenti to see if we need additional workers. Yeah, these volunteers, I would gladly take volunteers or interns or any other
Free, in
unpaid
other words.
position for the festival would be welcome.
Well, there is a family who was put out. So supposedly they had a flock of goats that was purchased far below a price that they could sustain themselves on, and so they're living in some tents now. I think it would be a good show of faith to maintain goodwill with the poor or the common people, to recruit some of them to help make the festival a smashing success. I mean, I know your ranking and you're polling high amongst that demographic, but you never know.
Right.
This is rather oddly specific information you bring to me, but the goat, yes, we did. That reminds me, we do have additional goat meat if you would like to take some with you. We have smoked some. We have, as according to what Karn had said that night that we spoke, he said something about a goat and I couldn't remember everything. I think I had a bit. I think I indulged a little bit to that night, but it's something about the blood or something. I didn't go so far as to drink the blood. I had others drink it on my account, but we did feast in the goat meat. We do have some left. And he was paid. I'm
how many
sure
pounds
of goat meat? There was a lot. Well, how many pounds you require?
I think 20 pounds will be enough.
Okay, roll 2d6.
Oh God. So now we all know what happened to the goat.
What'd you roll?
That's an 11.
Nice.
So not only that, he's got 11 pounds. It's like a rack of goat ribs that somebody brings out that's been smoked. For you, yes. I would. I mean, I paid the family. I guess. Yes, I can hire them. I can give them some sort of job for the festival if you wish. Yeah. It's show good faith, right? Is that what you said? Faith. We will show good faith, and sure.
Yes, just something, something to tide them over until they can either procure more goats or find a different profession.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, not being poor would be one of them, but that's between you and me. But enjoy the goat meat, and I will get them a job. I will get them working, and thank you for bringing that up and reminding me. And we leave no stone unturned. Yeah, he gives you the 11 pounds. This is like goat ribs, like the whole rack. Brings it out. They've smoked it. They've been there's a couple people in the courtyard eating some goat meat.
This would be just the protein Muddy D needs.
He kind of looks like, okay. Okay. All right. So anything else you want? The mayor? So yeah, go to leave the mayor's. I will say, give you a reminder that Karn needs a shield. And I know you talked about you probably just get him one. And you also wanted to have your weapons silvered, but we never actually did that. If you wanted to do that, like I don't know specifically which ones you wanted silvered. I didn't want you
Yeah.
to forget that and get to where you're going and
Yeah.
realize, oh boy.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll need to run around on the way out when I'm sure there's nobody close or anything. I'll sort of lean into Karn and say, the mayor is aware somewhat of what's his name, Josiah's plans. We need to get a meeting with him and sort of clue him in on things, but also get him to cool down for a bit so that he doesn't play his hand too early.
Well, perhaps we can talk to Josiah here shortly.
Yeah. It's just, we've got a lot of balls in the air, as it were, and it's always more effective. It's always more effective if you, hit people with lots of things at once. We want to give our enemies lots of problems at once, not space them out.
This is a sound plan. I was thinking that perhaps Josiah might help us keep this beer from entering into the city, and that also serves the purpose of helping our friend Camila. Or does he know about that yet? Have we all conferred about what we've talked about, or?
Have we conferred?
We might not have conferred yet, so I might need to hold off on that.
Yeah, that would be up to the characters, I think.
Not yet, since we haven't been to a safe place to talk yet.
Yeah, we probably need to confer and then.
We need to plan. We need to plan and make sure the mayor has the absolute best festival he could possibly have.
Indeed.
The most memorable one, shall we put it that way?
Meanwhile, I think I need a shield.
Yeah. And Felix
Okay.
wants to get an extra sword to be silvered.
Okay. Well, if we've still got daylight left, yeah, let's deal with, mundane matters like that, picking up Karn a shield, maybe an extra even, because apparently you can get them smashed if you run into not an ogre with a club. And getting the stuff silvered, since it seems like we're going to be out of here. But then tomorrow we're again on, people to meet, messages to send, as it were.
I may need to try to find a horse for quicker movement. Can paladins can ride a horse, right? In full mail? Yeah.
I would assume, yeah.
Have to be a war horse, otherwise you'll squish the poor thing.
He's thinking just, here in the next couple of days, we might need to move fast and he's moving slow. How is that going to affect him on the horse? I mean, he would still have to move slower on the horse, but maybe he could at least move as fast as his friends if he was on horseback.
Yeah, you would. I mean, the horse would, it'd be fine.
Okay.
It's really like carrying stuff and moving, because of your condition. And the whole, I know I put it in the Discord, but for now it's not an issue. But when you guys head out, like to do the actual, adventuring like you did before, the encumbrance thing will come into play. And it's a kind of simplified way to do it, but just have that in mind. That's really where it's going to hurt Karn, just carrying shit.
So maybe he should have a horse anyway.
Or a donkey.
Yeah.
Maybe
He
you can
can
find
or
a-
a braying mule like a certain proselytizer. Never
Yeah, I
mind.
mean, yeah, you could. You've got an acolyte of Saint Cuthbert. He could haul your stuff around.
maybe you could find
Oh.
a cross between.
Yeah, speaking of braying mules, which one of these twits on the list of musicians is that player who I couldn't stand in Sailor Seduction?
The very first one, Dulcimer of Fire.
Oh, great! So not only is he a bad player, he's got a ridiculous idea of his. He's like a what do you call it? A tuny. Yeah, the Dulcimer of Fire.
Well, it
I'll
could have been
say
an off
Dulcimer
night.
of
You don't know.
Fire.
Could have been an off night for him.
Uh-huh. I know who to have fun with.
All right. So, all right, you go into the big crystal blade, Loesch, to have your weapon silvered.
Yeah.
Okay. And you come in there as Loesch is sitting there in his cloak, a little bit chilly in here. Of course, he's got a long beard as he sits that reaches the floor, and patches of hair are missing. I see you've returned. Hello, welcome. Come in. It's dreadfully cold outside.
Yes, it is. Unseasonably so. Almost as somebody rolled a 12. Never mind. Don't know where that came from. Strange thought.
Oh.
In any case, several of my compatriots wanted to avail ourselves of the same service you gave for my spear.
Oh, yes, the silver.
We will,
Loesch does
of course,
recall.
provide the necessary. We will, of course, provide the necessary metal.
What do you wish to have silvered?
My character's already got a spear, so he's going to sort of step back and let everybody else talk a bit.
I would like this kunai silvered. The caveat is that while doing it, you must wear gloves.
So he looks at it.
Clean gloves.
This is really interesting. That reminds
I know
me
what
of,
your kunai is doing.
that reminds me of a young mate. Oh, that's a different story for a different time. He looks at your kunai. He doesn't touch it. He kind of looks at it. Oh, why do you wish to have this silvered?
We may be going vampire hunting later. I understand that's a weakness of theirs.
Oh, well,
Yes.
this would definitely be a challenge for Loesch, since the kunai seems to have its own magical properties about it. Maybe may take a little bit of time.
I thought you dealt in magical weapons.
I do, but silvering a very simple item is one thing, but something that already seems to have a mind of its own, it's a different story.
Well, it would be appreciated. And also this short sword. And he puts the short sword down. That was dropped and given to him by the family.
Timing. Loesch said it might take some time. How long is he talking about? I'll ask the question.
Oh, well. What is today? Today is the 12th. Probably a full day. So the morning of the 14th, I should have this taken care of.
Okay.
The others will be no problem.
I'll look at the crew and sort of say in a questioning tone, I think that timing it would be appropriate, yes?
Seems fine to me.
Okay.
Can you can I get silver knuckles?
Oh,
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
do you have the knuckles or do I need to procure them?
Well, I've got knuckles. And he puts down his iron knuckles.
Okay. You want these
In
silver?
case I have to punch a vampire in the face. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I want to make sure when I punch a vampire, it hurts.
Ah. Oh. Well, Loesch sees that you are on some interesting adventure. I can do this. That makes a short sword and knuckles and your kunai. Anything else?
Clintock steps up and like reaches in like his belt and like sets a small dagger onto the table and says, silver this and don't be chintzy on the silver.
Okay.
And then Felix steps up and says, I don't need anything that I currently have silvered, but I need a well smithed blade silvered. I will pay you for the procurement of said blade.
You need a long sword?
Yes.
Yeah, Loesch
Okay.
knows someone who can get you this.
Farjan wants a dagger and at least 10 arrows. Let's say 10 arrows.
Oh, yeah, this is quite an order.
Basil Wilberforce wants at least 10 arrows as well. He's got a silver dagger already.
Oh, that's right. You did pick one up. Although I don't think he's going to volunteer that.
Does he also sell weapons and armor? Or does he specialize just in fixing?
Armor and simple weapons, yeah.
So Karn will ask him about his shields if he has any worthy of him.
Yes, I get.
Spare, maybe 2.
You want 2 shields?
My last one was broken. Carrying a spare. You know, you might have heard the saying, 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Yes, but not in this context, of course. But 2 shields for cons. Yeah, okay. Two shields. I can do this. Loesch can take care of this for you. Is that all? Is that all you need from Loesch?
Believe so.
Do you have Muddy with you guys?
I think so.
Muddy. I don't think Muddy would have come to the mayor. I feel like I would have left like Muddy back at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
he's here.
Oh, does Muddy want his shovel silvered?
He was gonna ask for it, but he's not there.
Yeah, I think we'd be leaving the obvious troublemakers back.
So I have a kunai and a short sword and knuckles and a dagger and a regular sword that I'll procure and a dagger and 10 arrows and another 10 arrows and 2 shields that will not be silvered. Is this correct?
I think that's everybody.
So
Yes. So it will be 8 minted silver pieces and I will have all of this done.
That's pretty.
8?
That seems a little high. It seems more like 4 would do that.
No, it will take a silver piece
Considering the
for
value.
each minted for each item, and then the 8th one, of course, will pay for all the extra for Loesch's time and services for doing this work. This is a hefty bundle.
Karn will give it to him.
And I will say out loud to remind parties on both sides. And the other thing, of course, is we have already witnessed Loesch being very discreet about the source of the silver. Yes, we have.
Indeed.
Loesch does not tell anyone about this. Besides, sailor seduction is no fun now. All these, he looks over at Karn. All these certain religious types, protesting.
I think you may get some more amusement at the sailor's seduction pretty soon.
Oh, sure. Is this inside information?
I don't know what you're talking of.
Oh, Khan, you're a poor liar. What is this? Loesch would like to know.
Let's just say I might have heard a rumor.
And what is this juicy rumor? Would you like
I
to
just
tell?
told you. Might be able to enjoy yourself at the sailor's seduction, sir.
Yes, but a little bit more specifics would be nice.
Well, Loesch, while we very much appreciate your misdirection so far, it might be better. It might be better if you don't know too much.
Oh, I always do like surprises, of course. They are most delightful. Well,
It'll be better that way.
18 left on him, so now he's got 10 left on him.
so the kunai will be available on the morning of the 14th. All the other items should be available sometime tomorrow afternoon if you wish to procure them.
Sounds good.
Very well.
All right, and you head out into the cold as Loesch goes and sits down in his chair and begins to smoke his pipe.
How does he ever get any work done?
Good question.
Probably has a bunch of slave labor in the back. Who knows?
All right, so it's late in the afternoon. Where are you headed? Back to the
Rejuvenating Bob. We need to get some messages out, in particular to Josiah. But we also, I think the big thing is get the messenger out to Josiah, because that's a fairly time-sensitive issue. And at some point, we need to sit down and discuss what we're actually doing and timing, because there are now a significant number of working parts to this plan. We need to make sure that the timing on them doesn't go bad, and we're still not exactly sure how we're getting Ox out of the city. I mean, wait a minute. All right, somebody procured us a ship, an unregistered one
that he hasn't told you about yet.
that he hasn't told us about yet. So yeah, we need to get in private and start talking plans.
Well, Karn wants to get a mount, but have we noticed if the rejuvenating bog has stables?
Yeah,
Yes.
it has a stable area, yeah.
Because he wants to.
Oh yeah.
Because he started slowing everybody down.
Okay, so are you looking for draft horse, a riding horse, a war horse, a mule?
Probably a warhorse to be able to, if he has to fight from the back of it, if he can procure one, he'll probably try to make arrangements for it and then go to the front desk and where he knows they're discreet and try to cash in one of his silver pieces or whatever it takes and deliver payment and pick up the horse for him.
Well, the rejuvenating bog has stables that people keep horses at. They don't have any war horses. They've just got regular riding horses. Like you would have to go and probably speak to somebody in the know, like, I don't know, maybe if you knew somebody who was part of the Emperor's Guard or one of those, that could probably steer you in the direction to get a war horse.
Oh, somebody like Newman?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you gentlemen mind going and seeing Newman again?
If that's what's needed to help you out, I'd be happy to do so.
Well, I feel like if I have a good horse to ride on, I won't slow everybody down and maybe get us caught.
That is fair. I'd be fine with such a thing.
Anybody else want a horse?
I don't need one.
Most of our time will be spent on boats, which means horses are less
Will
useful.
be all right.
Maybe they have a seahorse, Clintock says.
Or maybe I should just get a riding horse and plan on leaving it behind once we get on the ship.
Or you could rent a riding horse at the rejuvenating bog
Oh, there we go.
if you want to just go that angle.
If it'll, as long as it'll carry him on horseback and he can, but can you fight from the back of a riding horse? Doesn't it spook or something? Or it doesn't engage in fighting. A war horse will, won't it?
Right.
That's what it is. But you can still fight from the riding horse, if I remember right.
Yeah. So if you want to rent a riding horse, well, let's see. It's going to be you that's attempting to procure it from the rejuvenating bog.
Correct.
Okay. They comp it for you for at least a couple days.
Oh, wow. Well, I will. Yes, I appreciate that very much.
He's like, look, we don't want any problems with Josiah, so
Well, I'm sure he won't be a problem. Can you perhaps send a man to let him know we'd like to speak with him too?
he just looks over at your group and sees Brucon, and Brucon's like, oh, yeah, I know where he is. I'll go find him.
Brucon is with us? Okay.
Yeah, he kind of follows you guys around. I'm assuming he's there. He's not involved in the discussions, but he kind of leads you around. That's what he gets paid to do. Make sure you can find your way. So yeah, he takes off, puts on his cloak, and runs back outside, and he's off. And you guys are back at the rejuvenating bog as it begins to get dark. And it takes 5 minutes between the dongs of the bells between the towers, as we are the evening of the 12th. As it begins, it's dark now. There is some hot food that is being served here, simple fare, like cranberry sauce. For some reason, they've got goat meat on the menu, and some kind
run with that forever.
Some kind of fish stew. It's just simple. I mean, it's basically what you pay for. It's enough. It's good enough to get by, unless you want something more specific.
Basil looks to Mighty D. Most of that carbs. I got a special diet for you, and here you go. And he's like, I want you to eat a pound in the morning, or 2 pounds in the morning, 3 pounds at night, and then a pound for lunch. We need to get you up. We need to bulk you up.
Gonna eat 6 pounds of ribs one day. You want me to start tonight?
Damn.
Okay.
Yep. You're gonna need it for all that digging we're gonna do.
All right. Anything you guys are you guys gonna have a chat? What your plan is for this evening, or is it rest time? Or
Yeah. I definitely will catch people up on the matter of the Lucky Strike.
Orion will share the mayor's request and basically say, we need to get these guys to tone it down until the right time, and then we need to get everything moving at the right time, and that's what we need to discuss. And Torjan will share his observations that at least the guy that he talked to outside of the camp was probably not interested in any shenanigans, shall we say, uprisings, And it seems like somebody in the camp is taking, the poor section is taking the mayor's money. So if we spread things out, if we spread information too far there, it may get back to the mayor.
Basil will share what he heard from the master of the treasury, but he won't let them know that he was planning on trying to roll them for the 300 gold. But that the guy's willing to pay 300 gold for the silver piece, and maybe we want to do it just so we can have him, sort of in cahoots with us and see if we can get him to clear a path to the ships at the dock, get the mayor's guards off the dock for the night.
If that's the price of being able to sneak away, that sounds good. Presuming, of course, that Karn is okay with it, it is ultimately his silver.
I think he would be okay with it, and he lets everybody know what he's heard too. I think he'd be willing to do the silver piece in order to be able to pull off the plan.
Plans coming together.
We just need a body.
It's the last thing to do this evening.
Well, you're gonna have to finish those 2 pounds real fast, because we got some digging to do tonight.
It takes him a while
Okay.
since he does have 4 rotted teeth in his mouth. He does suggest, maybe if you give me some dentures, that might help. So as he's like chewing on this ferociously because he wants to get to the main event, Josiah does show up in the midst of it. It will probably take Muddy probably an hour to eat these 2 pounds because he's gumming most of it. And Josiah shows up and checks, sees you all there. And Karn, you doing all right?
Well, I could be doing better, of course, but I've been fine. Marsh has done a wonderful job of tending to me, but it seems to me that we may want to let up some of the pressure that we're putting on just for a day or two, and then we're going to drop the hammer on it all.
Sounds good.
I'll look at Josiah and say, okay, since it's clear that you are no friend of the mayor's or the amateurs in this case, we can talk a little more about our plans. First of all, the mayor is aware that you guys are putting pressure on local businesses, and if you keep doing it, you may call out the troops before the festival, just to make sure that things go quietly during the festival.
Mm-hmm.
If you back off, you may be able to hit them harder during the festival. Speaking of which, we plan to cause a disruption in the festival. And we would like to coordinate with you on that because, of course, scattered voices of protest do little, but very coordinated voices of protest may do a lot more. In particular, you previously expressed the idea that the man who is being executed may not be executed, may be unrighteously accused, and we believe that. We intend to make sure that he is not executed at the festival.
This all sounds very good. When do you want my part of the plan to be executed? What day?
Well, that's what we need to talk about, guys. When will we have this would be, I think, for Clintock. When will we have our ship ready?
Presumably after we successfully accomplish our task.
Okay. Which is when?
Is it the evening of the 14th that it's supposed to arrive?
Yeah, she said the evening of the 14th, the lucky strike would arrive.
It's the 14th, not the 15th. I wrote down the 15th.
Yeah, I wrote down the 15th.
Okay, I'll have to check that. Well, it's somewhere in there. The 15th, it could be the 14th. It's right before the festival is supposed to start, which is the 15th, which would be the
So
festival.
the night of
the
the
festival.
night of the 14th.
Yeah, the night the 15th, the festival's actually going to begin like in the evening. Because it's like for everybody, it's the final day of toil, they call it. So it's sort of like a half day for everybody. So everybody will work and the festival will begin like 4 o'clock. Probably after the bells go off and it's sunset, then the festival will kick off that evening. So as long as
Okay.
as the mayor has the shipment in before then, he'll be happy.
Okay. So it seems like we need to get out by. Seems like we get out. What, on the 16th? Or night of the 15th? Really depends on how. Again, Orion's in vote of do what you need to do and GTFO. Not hang around and pretend you're innocent. Because somebody will figure it out.
And tomorrow night is the 14th or the 13th?
13th. This is the
Tomorrow's-
evening of the 12th.
right.
Tomorrow is
Okay.
potentially when Ox gets moved. And the 14th is the night of the full moon.
Okay. Yeah. So if we can pull off the lucky strike and the jailbreak on the 14th, then that sets us up to sail off in the wee hours of the 15th.
But Ox is going to be moved to the actual prison on the 13th.
Yeah.
Right.
Just means he'll be a day in prison.
Right, but then
I
we got to
think-
figure out how to break him out of the actual prison instead of the tower on the 14th, right?
Yeah, we're already planning. We're already planning on that, though.
Well, I thought we were planning on how to get him out of the tower where we had made friends with the gate guards, or was that at the actual
That's the prison. That's the actual prison.
That's the
I think
actual
that's what's been
prison, yeah.
confusing me this entire time. I thought that was where they right now.
No worries.
No, nope,
Okay.
that was the actual prison.
Okay,
That also has this quote unquote back door.
okay. I feel much better now. I've been confused about that for 2 sessions. Okay.
All right, so breakouts out on the 14th, leaving a fake body behind if at all possible. Then unlucky the strike the unlucky or whatever. There's got to be a good phrase made out of that somehow. And Scarper right after that.
Arrange to have the guards away from the boat docks that night of the 14th.
Yep.
Right.
So we've got a pathway hopefully from the tower to there clear.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and have the Josiah and them, attacking the lucky strike to get rid of the beer. Not attacking, but going on board and taking all the beer and dumping it into the harbor, and making sure that all this sinful action isn't going to be happening after all.
Ooh. Orion's not going to say this out loud, but it's like, ooh, yeah. Put Josiah on the hook for some of this.
Well, it's the kind of
Sorry.
action zealots might take, right? Keep the the Klinkville beer party. the kind of thing that they
Right.
they
I
might
mean,
take it to stop you.
No. Wait, I mean, this is great.
Excess.
This is great. This is how we sell it. That, the problem is the mayor bribes the common man or at least the ones who have enough income, with like free beer in order to back him. And if they really want to cause problems with the mayor, then take away the free stuff. And then when the people start asking what the heck's going on, then you can rouse them against the mayor much more easily than if they got their free fucking beer. We got a semi-plan. We got some timing on a semi-plan. And tonight, Bessix and Muddy can go out and find us a scapegoat. Oh, wait a minute. The ghosts were already eaten. Never mind. Find us a replacement body. There you go.
We'll find it. Muddy D's got this. And we'll have to work on those hammies in the meantime.
Speaking of which, Muddy D's sort of in on the plan by necessity. And I presume, what's his name? The Karn fanatic is going to, not the Karn, the St. Cuthbert fanatic is going to follow Karn or follow along with Josiah. So we got no problems there. Then we've got the Dracone, or whatever Arcone as he likes to be called.
Yeah.
And we've been sort of letting him cool his heels to be at least, we're going to have to tell him at some point that he's either going to need to scarper or come with us. And it's getting close to that time.
Yeah.
Because I don't intend.
I think it's probably best to include him in the jailbreak, just given his ability to help with communication.
Okay. Well, we'll talk. I mean, and since that's going to be in what? A day and a half? Let's talk to him now. Orion will talk to him if nobody else wants to, if we don't want to drag him in the whole group meeting, but I'll talk to him if you want, or we can drag him in the group meeting. I don't care.
Either way works for me.
Yeah, you can join the group meeting. That's fine. I don't see any reason.
Okay. Might also be a hint that there's a lot of people here might not want to go against us. Especially, I don't think he's going to report him to the mayor. Okay, we'll go grab the guy. I can't remember his name. Darn it.
Doxachi.
I bet, Ryan will be up front with him. Look, it should be fairly obvious to you now that something is going on. We supposedly got you out on work release to help the festival, but you haven't been doing any of that, and we've been going around doing odd things. Here's the deal. We're getting out of this town, and we're getting out of this town in a couple of days. If you split, you can have your choice. You can come with us, and we will help you out as long as you help us out. Or you can make like a rabbit and run as fast as you like, because there will be a bit of a disruption around the festival. So you will have at least some way to get clear. But you need to make your choice. Help us, we'll help you. And if you want to split with us later on, that's perfectly fine. Or go on your own. We could use somebody with your skills. But if you would prefer to go your own way, that's fine too. As long as you don't get in our way.
Give me a 2d6 roll.
All righty.
Add your charisma modifier.
Low is right. Is low good or bad?
That's bad.
Okay. I think I'm going to use my hustle point then. Because a 4 is not what I would call a decent result in this. I was trying to be upfront, but apparently I came off wrong when I was talking to him. Ooh, a 6 and a 3 and 1 charisma modifier is a 10.
Okay. Here's your plan. He absolutely will help you. Whatever you need done,
Okay.
he will assist. He if you need him to go with you, if you feel like he is an asset, he will go with you. Otherwise, he will stay in Klinkville and help with whatever the result of what you're about to start turns into.
Okay. No,
But-
we primarily need him for communications. How far away can he telepathy with people?
He would say within the city he could easily do it.
Oh man, that's better than I thought. Fantastic. Okay. We could use him for group communications then while we're coordinating all this fun. Fine if he wants to stay.
I'm sure there will be plenty of chaos behind. It would be a good opportunity to make some quick changes or much needed changes in the city. You could be at the forefront or attempting, kind of see your own vision fulfilled if you stay. So I think that's as good a reason as any. We went down to the components earlier, and I would hope that if there is a change in city, a change in a change coming to Klinkville, it would be one in favor of them, of the people living there.
I would hope so as well. So your plan, as I understand it, is you are going to. All right, we got the evening of the 12th. So your plan is to send Muddy D out with whomever, Basil, to go find a body, to dig it up, to take said body to, or are you just going to bring it back here and store it for the night?
So I thought
You're gonna
maybe one good idea would be to try to scope out the tunnel
Right. Okay.
in the prison this evening and store the body somewhere in the tunnel. So then we have an idea of what the situation is with the tunnel, and then the body is on site and not likely to be found.
Okay.
And besides which, if somebody smells something off, well, the whole damn jail smells
Right.
off.
Yeah. So this, won't matter. Okay. So you want to scope out the tunnel and then dig up the body and presumably put the body in there this evening. So it's sitting there. All right. And then.
And it's cold, so it'll be,
Yeah.
it's cold, so it might keep.
Mm-hmm. And who knows what the next day's weather will bring.
I mean, out of the grave, so it's not going to exactly be fresh.
So the 13th, you'd probably pick up your weapons. They might move Ox, so you're not going to worry about grabbing him now. You're going to wait till he gets to the jail, and then you're going to do the whole thing with knocking out the prisoners and, not knocking out the prisoners, the guards, and burning the prison and switching the bodies. Okay. So I think since it's getting late, I think, there's just one more thing I'm going to make sure we do. And then we'll probably do this tunnel and the body the next session, because who knows what could happen. Remy arrives that evening in a cloak, followed by her friend, which of course right now I can't think of his name. What is that cat's name?
The hopeful boyfriend.
Yeah.
I got the impression, at least, that he was hoping to be the boyfriend, but she's ignoring him.
So they both arrived. She's, got a big bundle cloak, and she comes in, and I don't know if you guys are having a group powwow, but you requested that she show up. They want you. I know you want to talk to her.
The friend is Kristen Monet.
Okay. Yeah. Crispin. Yeah. So yeah, Crispin looks very cold. And of course, he's got some sort of blade with him. Like, you probably figure that he was sent with her or something. But she says, "Oh yeah, I heard about there was some trouble at the docks, and my father wouldn't let me head down here. And Crispin insisted I go with me because somebody got stabbed or shot or something. There was some violence. I don't know. But yeah, I'm eager to hear what you have. I mean, are you guys going to be able to come with me, or what's the plan?"
Okay. Well, we understand you wanted to go by a later ship. Yes. The ship going down through, and you told us the plan. I just
Right, yeah.
can't find it.
The 20th, it goes directly to Twin Rivers, and I think the best route is to go that way through the river, through the old hobgoblin volcanoes to the south. I think that's the easiest way, but I'm going to wait for that day because I can get on my father's ship and go that way.
Okay. Well, we're making our way out separately, but we will be happy to meet you somewhere further down. I'll look around and see, but beyond that, I don't know a good place to meet. Does anybody have a solid idea?
But the Twin Rivers seemed like a reasonable place to meet.
Is Twin Rivers the Hobgoblin town?
No, it's before the Hobgoblin town.
No, the Twin Rivers is basically the fortress that was built to fight the hobgoblins, and it just got turned into a town. But she says, "Oh, okay. Well, it will probably take us like 6 or 7, 8 days, I think, to get to Twin Rivers."
Clintock did an inspired bit of negotiation there to
Yeah,
get us a boat.
that was grand.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna have your own boat. Oh, that's good. Then we don't need to hire a ship.
Yeah, save you some money.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Yeah, let's meet at Twin Rivers then. I should be there if that ship leaves the 20th, probably around the 26th. I should be making my way there 26th, 27th. Hopefully, if the weather's okay.
We will likely be ahead of you. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
We
that's our plan.
Oh, excellent.
And just say, I'll look at Crispin and go, we've been hearing some disturbing rumors about the festival. Apparently there are some never-do-wells who were planning on disrupting it. Crispin, I trust you to keep her safe and away from the festival.
She's like, you want me to stay away from the festival? I heard you guys are planning it. It's probably gonna be really good.
It'll be grand. Maybe a little too grand.
Okay. Why is there that guy in the corner gnawing away at goat ribs? Is he part of your
He's
group?
training.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's
Well,
bulking up.
he just gives it with his
Basil
two-rod teeth.
has taken him in hand. Basil has taken him in hand to train.
Okay.
I imagine you just see ethics just like sitting there, like, is that as fast as you can eat?
Poor guy has 4 teeth, and they're mostly rotten. What the hell do you want?
Gonna have to eat faster than that.
Okay.
Yeah, give him the bloody brass knuckles so he can tenderize the things first.
They're more of a push through the pain mantra.
Oh boy. So I'll look at Remy and say, We understand. I'm just, just wanted to make sure you were safe through the festival. We have heard there might be some disruptions, and I'll give a meaningful look to Kristen.
Okay.
Since he wants to follow her around, he can be her damn bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. That sounds good. All right. Well, I will meet you in Twin Rivers. If I don't see you like from now till then, I mean, I will have payment. I'll have some money for you for our travels and just be, when we get there, we'll just, if we can't find a guide, we'll just have to go into Moglet and get a guide. But now that we have a ship, that will make a big difference. So that'll help.
Wait a minute. You need a guide for what? To go through Hobgoblin lands?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, I don't know how experienced sailors you are. I mean, but even if you're an experienced sailor, I mean, yeah, we're going to have to find a Hobgoblin guide.
We'll look for one. There may be a possibility, but we shouldn't stop you from looking in there.
Okay. Well, when I get there, we'll meet up and we can talk then.
Of course, Orion is remembering the Hobgoblin in jail. Could be well disposed to us once we break him out and get him the hell out. We got a plan. Jeez. It was only like herding cats, wasn't it, GM?
No, actually, it was.
I appreciate all the side plans there. That helped everything come together.
Yeah. She tells you that to go to the Last Light Inn in Twin Rivers, and that's where she'll meet you.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So that's a good place to stop. It is this cold evening in Klinkville as a party. We will pick it up next time as you start to implement your plan. The many pieces, the many facets to this complex plan.
Yes, so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
It'll be good though.
Probably by the next 2 sessions, we'll be out of Klinkville.
We'll give it a rousing goodbye, it seems like.
Yeah.
We'll leave the new mayor to revive it from the ashes.
We're gonna say goodbye on the best of terms.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully accomplish some good, overthrow the mayor. Hopefully Camille gets elected and she's a good mayor.
Hopefully. The noble class always have a penchant for doing things right.
They care a lot about the small folk.
On the plus side, she did get us to rescue her husband. On the minus side, she's apparently has no problems plotting insurrection and sabotage.
Yeah. And she might be a little too fond of Clintock.
I consider that a plus. less likely to betray us in that case.
Yeah,
Karn would frown on somebody willing to indulge in infidelity.
Clintock's not going to tell him.
I know me.
Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for running.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Take care.